Coffee with, and he. Good morning. Welcome to the January 1st edition of Coffee with, and he. Is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful, 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 beautiful Sunday God has given us. We had a great New Year's Eve. Got to spend some time with some friends, with our family, here on the boat. And I'm working out, knocking out boat projects. I'll give you a peek-see in just a minute. So much going on. I use this word a lot, but I'm excited. I'm an excitable kind of guy. I stay excited. So the boat projects we got going on and we're working on for the day is, first of all, we replaced most all of the outlets in the boat, and all the 110 volt outlets on the boat. And there were a couple that you had to push and pull to make them. There were two on the boat. That one of them was outside here under the helm, and one was back in a hidden outlet that I found after we got the boat, and I took apart an access panel that was powering some stuff. That just being open to sea air, it caused some corrosion inside. And then I did some further investigation on the ones on the inside that were all functioning correctly. They were just household outlets that showed signs of corrosion. So all the ones that are outside I replaced with, they're called extreme duty outlets. The one on the outside had a galvanized metal cover with flaps and seals to keep it watertight. But you can only keep that so watertight with being out in the elements here and next to salt water. But I replaced the inside parts with that severe outdoor wet kind of duty, and then put new gaskets and everything on it. The ones on the inside I upgraded to outlets with USB ports in them, so we don't have as many wall warts hanging around the boat, which is really pretty cool so far. I can tell a difference in just the watts that my Victron monitors being used on the AC side. So that's a cool upgrade by itself. The next thing is we've got a new spinnaker halyard on order. Michael went up the stick 2 days ago. We had beautiful weather on Friday, and we replaced the wind direction and airspeed transducer at the top of the mast. And what we ran into, because the old one wasn't working, we figured out why. There was a bad connection at the bottom of the mast. But with all new equipment, the old one won't work with the new. So we replaced that. It came with a kit. So we got some savings. Is everything working okay on that, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went up, and what our goal was to pull the old transducer cable up the mast and then tie off to that and pull the new one all the way down. And what we found was a lot of the cables inside of the mast had been zip tied together, which is a no-no. It's an open mast. It doesn't have a special cavity in the very front for all the lines to be run, and there's also not an access panel. So we could pull down about that far. We couldn't pull back up at all, and then we decided to try to pull down, and we got all the way within like 6 inches, and the connection pulled off. So it was interesting. And so our last ditch effort yesterday or 2 days ago was to drop a messenger line down with a couple of nuts on it, and we were able to fish that line out, pull it out, and then pull the line down. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you're welcome. Enjoy.
Happy New Year.
Just for your wife from her son.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. From? From who?
Can't see.
Just had flowers delivered to the boat from our son. Trying to figure that out. If you know, let me know. So we back to the mast, and I'll figure out that later. So we were able to capture that and pull it down and get it installed, and it's pretty up there. So what I'm doing today,
Yes.
what
Now second half.
what I'm doing today is I finished doing the outlets this morning while everybody was still sleeping, and then I'm going to pull you around here for a second. I did a little bit more of a video earlier. The hole, let's see, the hole here from the old instrument needs to be just a skosh outside of this black line, bigger. So you can't just take a hole saw and plunge cut that. And I take the new template. You've got a couple of dots here, there, and there. I'm going to take a piece of wood, drill pilot holes here, screw a piece of wood there where I can drill a pilot hole and use a hole saw to cut that out, and then just use a drum sander to give it a good finished thing. And over here, we're doing a touchpad. So we have a toggle and everything for our new chart plotter that's going here. It's just going to be beautiful in this area. So I'm working on that. We might work on applying the boat graphics a little bit today. I've got a list of 142 things to do. I need to go get another TV, because the TV I got, the TV was on the boat. It's a smart TV, but it won't update, and the apps on it won't update. It won't system update, and it really has a hard time connecting. So, and it's also Android based. So we have good luck with Roku's, and we shopped for one that had exactly all the features we needed. Got it here to the boat, and all the features that we needed were not in that box. The mounting template was different. The power cord style is different, and all that. Imagine trying to work on a home improvement project where you have to figure out the fit and finish of everything, where you're 50, 100 miles away. I mean, we're so fortunate we have a car still that we've got to get rid of soon. But we're so fortunate to have a car still so we can run to the store. But it's not really that quick and easy, because it's more than a half a mile to the car and back. So you've burned that time. We're not just 2 or 3 minutes from a hardware store. We might be 15 to 25 minute drive. And I'm sounding whiny, and I don't mean to be. I am fortunate on this new year. But you have to plan all that stuff out. Everything has to line up right so you can mount your widget right where you want it. So I'm not going to say it was frustrating. This stuff is frustrating. It's just if you have OCD, you better have a big stockpile of parts and pieces and screws and everything with you, and you better have a ton of contingencies. If you're just moderately wanting to make sure everything is really good looking so nobody will question you, you got to plan really well. So we've got that. We might do boat lettering today. I might just set this up, terminate those wires up there, pull out the old autopilot, put in the new autopilot, control head, the linear, not linear, hydraulic motor in the back is in great shape. We're just refreshing everything to make it come up, and all be on one. I'll be able to touch a place on my chart plotter, and let's head to there, and things will kind of take over. I've still got to trim the sails. The new autopilot, I'll be able to set it to a wind angle, the most efficient wind angle, and make way, where I won't have to, it won't be a complete standalone unit. So I don't even know what to do with myself. We've got a couple of people that have been away that are coming back to the dock. Got our friend John back here. I've got to go on board his boat. He's got a neat little trawler, and he's a looper. He's got this trawler, and he's doing this alone. It's called Do While. Do it while you can. But his flag on the front of his boat, the top securing came off, so I'm going to go over there in just a little while and secure that so he doesn't lose that burgee. So that tells the other boats in the area a little bit about him. Neat guy. Learned a lot from him in just going to the airport with him. We spent some time with Michael and Rebecca down on their boat last night with another family, and it was a good time. Hypothetically, some rogue on this dock set off some fireworks, and we had a nice display to watch. And I haven't found it in the news. I'm going to look again this morning. Right at midnight, North Charleston and Dorchester is lit up with fireworks. You look over across the Cooper River, we've got Daniel Island right next to us, and just across the way we've got shipyards. Let's see. We're gonna go on a walkabout. So all out here, you could see fireworks in the distance, and it was cool. A lot of it sounded like gunshots. Could have been. Not ruling out North Charleston gunshots. And over here, so we've got a shipping yard, huge shipping yard that's twice as big as this one, 3 times as big as the one just above us. And dredging operation up there that goes on. They're not doing anything today. But all of that, including the Cooper River Bridge, and all of it was dark. They were without power for like 45 minutes to an hour. Completely dark and silent over there. We could see cars driving over the bridge, but nothing, and no fireworks over there. So it was really, really strange. Kind of like a post-apocalyptic scene, and surreal. So we're going to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to sign off for the day, I think. First, well, a couple more things. First of all, we're going to take a poll. Ready? There's been some question as to my integrity. My integrity is in question. And that is in regards to my hair color. So, if you think this is my natural hair color, put it in the comments below. If you think that this is just for men, you know, all gray, no play, that I dye my hair, you put that in the comments below. We're gonna see who's right. Well, we know I'm right, so, because it's my head of hair. So I wanna hear what your thoughts are below. The next is goals. I've had some discussions with Tracy and some with the kids, and we're going to talk about it some today, and with some friends down the dock and other friends about setting goals and what are your goals for 2023? Now, I'm a goal-setting guy. And I find that I do much, much better if I write things down and I track them and I hold myself accountable. So that's what helped get us on this boat. Circling back to something a couple of you guys have said, and some of the other things about how lucky we are and fortunate. We are lucky. Okay? We are very, very fortunate. But it didn't come by accident. We set goals, and when we decided that we wanted to do this adventure, we worked our guts out, and we didn't know what kind of budget we could hit and other things, and that's one of those goals that kind of evolved. But we tracked ourselves. We tracked what we were spending. We tracked how much we owed, and we had a lot of debt. We had a lot of debt, and I'm kind of ashamed of the debt that I carried for a long time. But once I realized how to get rid of that debt, I'd go work my regular job. And I've always been a side hustler. I'd work my regular job during the day, and 3 or 4 days a week, I would go deliver Uber Eats at lunch, because otherwise I'm a workaholic. I'd never leave the office. I'd get back, I'd do an instant cash out, and I'd go buy a mutual fund. I invested it. I invested it every day, and helped people clean up their properties. I disposed of merchandise and other things, and anything I sold or I could do or all my boys could do, we would just cash that stuff away. My boys and I received logs. We had a tree service, just a neighbor just up the street, and he was a nice guy. Modesto still lives just up the street from our house. And I had the opportunity to serve him a couple of times and help him out. He got stuck with his tree service trucks in his own yard where he would park them to get them out of the road, and out of the way and out of sight. And it was had been muddy and rainy and had some storms, and he had customers he had to go serve, and he was facing a couple $1,000 towing bill. And he came down and knocked on my door and asked if I could help him with the deuce. And we helped him. I backed down through his yard. The deuce had like this much room on either side, and was able to hook up to his truck, and I pulled him out. Actually, I pulled both of his trucks out. Then I backed down and hooked up to his chipper shredder that he shreds all these trees, and pulled that out, and that was a good day. If I can find the video, I'm going to post it up to our channel just so you can watch. I don't know how big of a truck it was going to take to pull all that stuff out, but I knew which one I was going to use. 10-wheel drive, army truck, running waste motor oil as fuel, and just rolling coal. That was a fun day. We had a lot of fun times with that truck. But circling back, Modesto started asking us if we wanted some wood to make firewood. So the boys, I used it as an excuse to get them outside, let them split the wood. The money that they made from selling the wood went into their kitty that bought an upgraded dinghy and motor for our boat. So when we get down to the islands, we've got plenty of power. We could do some water sports behind it. But they worked at it, and I got to work out of it, because I'd go bust firewood for 45 minutes in the morning before I went to work. I didn't pay for a gym. I kind of the believer that if you want to work out, you go out in the farm, you go out in the yard, and you do the work. It's not all the same. It's not all about getting your heart rate up, but I can tell you that I sweated out a lot of toxins busting firewood manually. We didn't have a hydraulic log splitter or electric log splitter. We had a 6 and an 8 pound maul, and the boys helped with that, and they would help roll things out. And Modesto kept us in wood, and I think over the course of 2 years, here's my parable. Over the course of 2 years, my sons split, stacked, dried, and sold, I think it was 22 cord of firewood, which is a whole lot of wood that we were able to sell to neighbors and friends, and below really kind of what the market was on it. But I used that as a tool for them to set goals. And I had them, I did the online correspondence with the people, but when our customers came, or when we delivered wood, which we did some as well, they had to help. They did it. When it came to negotiating the final price, they did it. My sons. I didn't do it for them, because they've got to learn these skills. They've got to practice these. We're all going to screw it up. So I'm so proud of them. Goals. Are you a New Year's Day kind of goal person, or are you not? Do you believe that goals should just be started whenever you decide you're going to do something? Tell me about your thoughts and stuff. If you have questions for me about how we got here, we can do a whole video about that. I know it's a little long to talk about how we budgeted all this, but I'm not going to hide it. I'm not a trust fund baby. None of us are. We bought a boat at the top of where we wanted to spend. And then the things that we need and want and have to do on this boat, we're doing the work ourselves so we can save money and get it done. I did have a couple of quotes from people on like the quote on the power upgrade, which I'm about 95% done. I'm about 90% done. It's up. I've got to put some more fusing on just to bring it up to ABYC standards. It's all safe right now. Put some heavier gauge ground on the inverter box. I think I've got a 2 gauge on there. I've got to go up to a 2/0, which is ridiculous from an electrical engineering standpoint, but to do it right. Wow, they're hauling butter over there behind us. I'm going to do it. So we're about 90 to 95% done. I'll knock that out this week, waiting on 2 breakers to get in. That breaker coming in from the shore power, the ECLI, they've been on back order for months, and we had somebody that said they had them in stock and they were supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and they're not here yet. Surprise, surprise. But we've got the glands that goes in and out of the box. We've got the box, the wire is the right size. I've got the corrugated cover all the way from the point where it hits the boat. Oh, wow. Wow! Oh my goodness. Dolphins come completely out of the water. Wow. Let's see if I can get that again. I mean, completely breached. Completely.
Saw that too, right?
I did. That was cool, wasn't it? It was fully out of the water. See him up there? There's 2 dolphins. Wow. I don't care how long you've been on the water. There we go. Wow. Wow. Somebody grab Mom's phone or Riley's phone or something. Wow. They're having fun, aren't they? I don't care how much you're around the water. Whenever you see that, if that doesn't bring a smile to your face, put it up. Cash it in. You're done. That's crazy.
You got all 3 of them jumping.
I got all 3 of them jumping. That was awesome. I don't have anything else for you guys. I'm gonna just watch this. I'm done for a few minutes. I love you. That's exciting. I watch the people that don't watch the end. I'll probably do a short on the very end, a clip of this. That was awesome, 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 awesome sauce. Tell your friends and family you love them. Clean up after yourself. Spay and neuter your pets. This is Andy, and I am out.